This is about to be hot. What is going on, everybody? I am Ty Smith. Welcome to my channel, Modern Renaissance Man. I really do appreciate you guys all taking time out of your day to come to my channel. I really do appreciate it. Do me a favor. Make sure you follow me on all these platforms you see listed up here and down here if you would, please. And by hitting that button right there, you will keep YouTube recommending my content to you, and you will push this video out in the algorithm, all right? Appreciate it. And by the way, the products you see listed in this video are all products that I use, so don't be thrown up by, why do these things keep popping up down here, blah, blah, blah. Those are all products that I use. Should you purchase those, yes, I do get a percentage out of that. If you do, great. If you don't, great. All these people that email me, ask me what camera do I use, what mic do I use, most of those things are posted during the course of this video, all right? So anyway, man, y'all, woo, this is about to be some steamy stuff, because I don't know if you guys all know this, but after President Trump was asked a question about the whole ordeal regarding abortion, he said he wants to put it in the hands of the state, and it set aflame both sides. Republicans and Democrats all were like going completely mad over Trump stating that. And yeah, he said it should be left in the hands of the state. The Fed should stay out of it. Now, people were pissed off because people were saying, oh, with that, if the federal government was to say that all abortions is banned, they could put a halt to it, save lives, yada, yada, peanut butter. While some people were mad because they were saying like, why not leave it in the hands of the states? Each state has its own laws, and if you don't like it, you can either go have something done in another state, et cetera, et cetera. But woo, Arizona pulled something off today that I know is going to have a lot of people completely pissed to the max. It's going to have a lot of folks completely mad, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this right here. Surprise Arizona ruling sets abortion politics aflame. The Arizona Supreme Court ruling doused gasoline on the already flickering fire of abortion politics Tuesday and threatened to upend the 2024 contest in the state by upholding
to reduce
Civil War era. Shut up, woman. Nobody asked you nothing. Shut up, silly woman. Some of y'all not gonna get that. But anyway, again, before I was rudely interrupted by a black woman, y'all, it's a joke. Y'all, if you're watching this, you will get it. The Arizona Supreme Court ruling doused gasoline on the already flickering fire on abortion politics Tuesday, and threatened to upend the 2024 contest in the state by upholding a Civil War era law that made performing an abortion a felony, putting Republicans on the back foot in the process. The ruling, which makes abortion punishable by 2 to 5 years in prison for anyone who performs or helps someone obtain one, was the latest bombshell that will supercharge the fight over abortion rights, this time in a major presidential battleground state, with the Senate race also on the ballot in November. The news sent shockwaves throughout Washington, with Democrats of all stripes wasting no time reacting. President Biden laid into the ruling, saying, I don't know what an abortion is. Abortion, is that a flavor of ice cream? I'm joking, y'all. President Biden laid into the ruling, saying it was a result of extreme agenda of Republican elected officials who are committed to ripping away women's freedom. Biden did not say that. Biden did not say that. No, he did not say. Biden cannot formulate a sentence like that. I'm sorry, he did not say that. Is this Karen Jean-Pierre writing for him again? You know how she got busted? Anywho, millions of Arizonans will soon live under an even more extreme and dangerous abortion ban, which fails to protect women even when their health is at risk or in tragic cases of rape and incest, Biden said, calling it a cruel ban. That is not what it says. You have to go and read to see what all the law entails, folks. So I'm just saying, does it say that? I don't know. Does it not say that? I don't know. Even though I just got done saying it does not say that. I know. It's contradictory, Ty. Bad guy. Point is, you have to see what it all entails. And what percentage of people within the so-called incest or rape does this happen to where they don't want to keep the child? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm not going to get into particulars of that because that has nothing to do with this particular case. We can get to those details in another video. The White House also quickly announced Vice President Harris would head head to the Grand Canyon state at the end of the week in response to the court ruling, which overturned a 15-week ban the state enacted in 2022 in response to Dobbs' ruling. Senator Mark Kelly, Dem of Arizona, briefed Senate Democrats during the weekly luncheon moments after the ruling was handed down, and he appeared alongside Democratic leaders at their press conference to decree the decision, noting that 1864 law came into existence 48 years before Arizona became a state. This law may have been written 160 years ago, but it's only being reinstated now because of politicians who worked to overturn Roe v. Wade, Kelly said, adding that the court's decision on Tuesday referenced the Dobbs decision 22 times. This is devastating for women in Arizona. The arcane law, which also includes an extremely narrow exception for when it is necessary to save a pregnant person's life, will go into effect in 14 days unless the legislature moves to repeal it, Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs, Democrat, called for the 1864 ban to be repealed. Ladies and gentlemen, if your life is at stake and you have a child in you and it can affect the mother, they don't call that what these people are making it out to be. So women are going to die because they won't let them. Come on, y'all. Let's be honest. Come on now. When doctors see that your life is at jeopardy, for one of the things, if you were in medicine, you would know that your job is to do no harm. And also your job is to try to save a life as much as you possibly can. Period. So you have to show me some cases where a woman's health was at a risk and they're like, nope, you still gonna do this. And if you die, oh well. Both of y'all, you and the baby could die, but one thing you gonna do this. Come on now. And then let me take y'all another step further than this, okay? What about these other states that allow people to come from other states to get their gender reaffirming surgery and all that? So if this is the case that's going on in Arizona, but you got other states saying, hey, you can come here and get it done, people are going to do it. Let's just be real. There is no way in the world you're going to be able to stop people from having abortions that want to have abortions. It's no different than anybody trying to stop folks from committing crime, speeding, robbing people, domestic abuse. It's not going to stop you nobody from driving a car through a store, nobody from committing mass shootings. It's not going to stop because people who decide they want to do what they want to with the freedoms that they have to do those things are going to continuously do those things, folks. The ruling also expected to have an outsized political impact as Arizona voters will likely consider a ballot measure in November to reinstate abortion rights. Groups involved with the effort said in the past week they have exceeded 500,000 signatures, 120,000 more than the requisite number needed to put it on the ballot. The Tuesday decision is expected to further boost the total, with the deadline to hand in those signatures set for July. It could also follow the trend of recent elections, fueling Democratic turnout in the presidential contest that was razor thin 4 years ago and helped the party in the contested Senate race, which is one of the top ones on the map this cycle. While Democrats loudly cried foul at the ruling, they were hopeful that it would give them a shot in the arm in a state that is crucial to their electoral hopes in November. It just goes to show that what happens when you put extremists in charge. People who want to take away women's reproductive freedom, people should understand they mean what they say. Senator Chris Van Hollen, Democrat, who ran the Senate Democratic campaign arm in 2018. I think we'll see the same thing as in 2022. He continued pointing to the surge of voters who went to the polls in response to Dobbs' decision. Politically, it will be a huge hit to Republicans. The GOP also seemed to realize the ruling could be a problem. Republican Carrie Lake, who is running against Rep. Ruben Gallego to replace Senator Kristen Sinema in the upper chamber, said she opposes the court's decision and called on Hobbs and a GOP-held legislator to come up with an immediate common sense solution that Arizonans could support. Ultimately, Arizona voters will make the decision on the ballot come November, Lake added in a statement. The news also seemed to catch Republicans in Washington flat-footed. Senate GOP members largely declined to comment on the ruling, saying they hadn't heard or read enough about it, or that it is a state issue. The National Republican Senatorial Committee referred to the Hill to Lake's statement. It also came a day after former President Trump declined to take a stance on federal abortion ban and argued that the matter should be left to the states. He added he is proud to have ended Roe via Wade. I'm sorry, he was proud to have ended the Roe via the appointment of 3 conservative U.S. Supreme Court justices. Nevertheless, party operatives in the state are worried that the decision and the expected ballot measure will lead to a landslide that could only hurt Trump and Lake, but also throw both chambers of state legislation up for grabs. It's not good for Republicans at the ballot box, period, one Arizona-based GOP operative told The Hill, adding that it's impossible for the party to defend the 1864 law, especially in swing districts in the battleground state. It remains in question how the state leaders will handle the topic in coming weeks. Hobbs last year handed Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays the power to enforce the abortion laws, and Mays said she will not enforce any bans on the procedure, though the decision could be challenged legally. The 7 members of the Arizona High Court were all appointed by Republicans, including 5 by former Governor Doug Ducey, who signed a 15-week ban into law 2 years ago. The decision is also set to put the GOP in a difficult spot come November as it attempts to deal with the abortion literally being on the ballot once again. Since Dobbs' decision, voters in Michigan, California, Vermont cemented abortion rights in their states' constitutions during the 2022 midterm elections. Ohio voters also passed an amendment enshrining abortion rights in November, and up to 8 states could consider doing so later this year. Florida, Maryland, and New York all have items on the ballot aimed at abortion rights, while Colorado, Missouri, Montana, and Nevada, in addition to Arizona, all could as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a huge, huge issue here, because a lot of things is going to be at stake to where people are going to do it. If you're going to be doing a lot of your voting based off of whether a state is going to allow you to have an abortion, that's going to be something that's going to be major. Now, in my opinion, the move that Trump made by leaving it to the states, that probably was the best move, because there's a lot of states that people stay in. Now, I'm not saying for me, I'm talking about in Trump's. Notice I said this for some of y'all. I can't believe you. No, I said in Trump's case for his campaigning, that probably is the move that he needed to make right there, political wise. Because if he was to sit there and say, my stance on abortion is that we're going to federally ban it and try to get it banned in all states, that probably would have devastated him. But at the same time, some people feel that this did devastate Trump anyway. Like there could have been no right answer he could have given. While most people saying, well, yeah, if he's delegating it to the states to make that decision, to make it lawful for them, then great. Because there's a lot of things that look, my biggest thing is this, folks. Me personally, I like small government. I don't want the government in every facet of my life or anything like that. I don't. I want to be able to be a person to where what's mine is mine, what my decision is my decision, period. Now, I am telling y'all right now, pro-life, period. I am pro-life, but there needs to be context behind that. People who have had incest happen to them, but if they know that they had this happen to them and they are, per se, they know that they might be pregnant, if they go and get something done, look, y'all, there's a lot of stuff that comes into play. Somebody that's been sexually assaulted and got pregnant, found out they were pregnant, want to take the plan B or whatever the case may be. There's so many different contexts to this. There are a lot of traumas come with it. And trust me, I'm not a person that don't act like I'm not human, to where I know that there are some people out there that they know themselves well enough to where they don't have the mental capacity to deal with that. And I understand that, to each its own. I don't know that a person that might have been sexually assaulted by someone or incest who went on and had a child, that they don't look at that child and know how that child came into this world. Versus them saying, if I know this and I know I can get something done about it, I don't have the child, I won't have to deal with that for the next, for the remaining of the child's life. There's a lot of things that come into play with this. But for you to use it as a means of not holding up your responsibilities, and it's just the easy way out. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, the things that come with it later on down the road. That's my concern right there, because I'm all for what's best for humans, period. And if you go and get these things done, y'all don't believe what I'm saying. I'm just telling y'all based off patients I've had, women I've known that had this done. There's a lot of psychological, emotional, and physiological things that goes on inside that I would say, of all the women that I've talked to, a majority number of them say, I probably wouldn't have had it done if I knew it was going to do this. Versus the other women that had it done said it was probably one of the best things they had done. But at the same time, they did suffer, most of them, majority of them suffer some psychiatric type of feeling from when having those done, depending on what it was. I'm not talking about taking Plan B or anything like that, the day after pill or anything like that. I'm talking about women who physically go in there, have themselves opened up, have things chopped up and all that and taken out of them. I'm just saying, personally, on a personal level, I would love for people to, whoever wants to have this done, to be able to have to do this thing to where, if you like, for example, are you sure? I'm gonna get personal with y'all on something that I did. I had a vasectomy. After my second son was born, I had a vasectomy. The doctor was absolutely extraordinary. I already knew enough anyway from being in medicine and stuff, but he had me go and talk about it. Came back and talked with him again, had like 4 or 5 different consults with him. He made me watch videos. This is what we're going to be doing to your balls. This is what we're going to be cutting. We're going to be burning each end. You won't have kids again. Are you sure? What if your sons don't make it? What if, he took me through it. So what I'm saying is this. If someone takes you through everything that comes with the abortion, telling you these are the things that you can suffer from, this is what you can go through psychologically, this is what you can go through emotionally, this is what can happen to you physiologically, you run the risk of this can end up keeping you, and you see the videos on them pulling young babies out. I'm not talking about them sucking some cell. I'm talking about pulling babies out where you can see little fingers and have them go and do the whole thing. And then say, if you want to make the decision, then go ahead. I'm not talking about women that's been raped or I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about them. But at the same time, I would still have them watch it and say, is this something that you sure that you want to do? It's not that you're trying to prevent them from doing it, but you just want them to have the overall whole information of what it is that they're getting ready to get themselves into, if y'all follow me. So anyway, yeah, but this is going to set something aflame. And I'm telling you right now, I can guarantee you money back. Arizona, with this ruling right here, Arizona is going to be like one of the hottest spots that people are going to have their eye on during this election. And I wonder if they're going to go and ask Trump about this particular thing and if Trump is going to have a comment on it. But Biden is going to play the game because it's all about trying to get the votes. And again, let me make this clear. My whole point of saying all this is because I'm all about the preservation of life. Period. I'm just saying I'm all about the preservation of life. It shouldn't be about these people making this thing a political issue, although it has become a political issue. When someone goes and have something like this done, that's just human life. That's just humans doing and dealing with human things. But the fact it made its way into politics, now people make it a political thing. And that's really, really messed up and it's really sad. It's too many variables and subtopics that come along with having it done versus not having it done that I just don't have the time enough to delve into. But what I do want to know is what you guys' opinion is on this whole matter. Like I told y'all, I'm pro-life. Y'all don't even want to know what I really think about a whole lot of stuff like this because my mentees, they already know what Mr. Ty thinks. My young men that I mentor now, they already know if you wouldn't have to deal with putting yourself in the situation of making that decision if you weren't practicing the things that put you in that decision-making process, period. You wouldn't have to deal with that if you already vetted someone and y'all weren't just having sex for sport or y'all weren't just having sex because you think that this is just something you should do as boyfriend and girlfriend. Before you even get married, these are things that y'all need to put on the table and talk about because the whole point, I'm just telling y'all from a natural biological standpoint, the whole point of someone coming together intimately and having sex is to have children. No, it ain't time. Yes, it is. But the thing is, thank God we were blessed with the Lord giving us nerve endings down there to where it's one of the most phenomenal feelings and things that you can do in this life. But if you talk about sex and what the ultimate and what sex is supposed to be about, it's supposed to be about reproducing. Period. So that's nothing I'm going to really get deep into. That's arguable. But that can be for another show. I would love to talk to some people about this because I always try to look at things from a natural standpoint and what the whole intent of that natural biological coming together as sex was meant for. Although pleasure comes with sex. There's no doubting that. But again, the overall reason of coming together for that is so someone can reproduce. Period. Anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all think of this whole situation. I know it's going to be some pros and cons to all this. Do not be afraid to state your opinion, whether you are for abortion or against it. It does not matter. I like to hear all perspectives, period. All right? Hit that like button for me right there, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you, let me Let me know what you think. I already said that, didn't I? No. Let me know if you got into your cell phones and told somebody about this channel and encouraged them to subscribe to this channel. This is going to be a hot topic, and I know YouTube is not going to like this. Trust me, y'all, they're not going to like videos like this because it's too much of a touch and go situation. Be sure to tell somebody about this particular video so we can have all these different perspectives in here, okay? Please do that. Let somebody DM somebody on Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook and have them come to this video, watch this video so they can hear and see you guys' thoughts on this in the comment section. Please, please, please comment so we can see what your perspectives are, all right? I'm Ty Smith, Model Renaissance Man, hoping and praying that every last one of you guys have food, shelter, and clothing. Most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.